You ever feel like giving up? You know, life just isn't that great, right? The future looks bleak and hopeless. There seems to be no joy in anything. And so you start thinking maybe it's just not worth it anymore. Maybe it'd be easier if you just weren't alive. And then you think, well, hold on. If I were to die, what would happen then? Would my family be okay? Would they be cared for? What about my unfinished projects? What will become of them? Well, if you've ever thought those kinds of thoughts, I want you to listen very carefully to the next little story. In Acts chapter 20, verses 7 to 12, we read about a young man by the name of Eutychus who had an overdose of what we might call today sleeping pills. He went to bed and from which he never woke up, or at least he never woke up naturally. His life was hanging by a thread. And when the Apostle Paul was told about it, he went up to the third-story window and prayed. That's pretty high up there, isn't it? He could have just prayed from the ground level, but he went up to the third-story window and prayed. And God answered his prayer. Eutychus was raised from the dead. Now, I don't want to suggest that we should all pray for people who are in comas. I mean, we certainly can and we should pray for them. But I do want to make the observation that many times the prayers of the saints are answered in ways that we don't expect. Now, I do not know what happened in the hours after Eutychus took the sleeping draught and before Paul arrived on the scene. I don't know if people were praying for him or not. But I do know this, that when Paul got there, he didn't go to the family and say, "Don't worry, I'm going to pray for your son." No, Paul simply went up to the window and prayed. And it was a very short prayer because as soon as he prayed, the young man was raised from the dead. You see, there's a lot of things that we think that we want. You know, like we want a brand new car, or we want to get married, or we want a certain job. And we think that these things will make us happy. You know, if only I had that, then life would be good. If only I had that person, then I'd be fulfilled. But sometimes God has something else in mind for us. Sometimes we need a little bit more faith. You know, I think that Eutychus's parents had given up on him. I think the doctor had given up on him. I think everyone had given up on him except for God. And when God sees somebody who is not giving up, he is going to honor that. And even though Eutychus had taken a sleeping draught and was lying there in a lifeless body, God still saw something in him. God still saw potential in him. And that's why he was raised from the dead. You see, friends, it's not over until God says it's over. You might feel like giving up. You might feel like life isn't worth living. You might feel like things are really, really tough right now and that you can't go on much longer, but I want you to remember the story of Eutychus. I want you to remember that as long as you're breathing, as long as you're alive, as long as your heart is beating, there is still hope. As long as God is in control of your situation, then there is still hope. So I encourage you, don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on your marriage. Don't give up on your children. Don't give up on your church. Don't give up on your friends. Don't give up on your ministry. Don't give up on your business. Don't give up on anything until God says it's over. Because you see, it may be that God wants to do something with you and through you that you have never dreamed of. So don't give up. Hold on to God. Hold on to His promises. Hold on to His word. Hold on to your loved ones. Hold on to your dreams. Don't give up. Not yet. God still has plans and purposes for you. Keep holding on. Well, that's it today from our channel. Be sure to follow us on our channels. And until next time, be blessed.